So in this video, I want to talk about the idea of initiation. And this has been an idea that I have had for quite some time, and the more time passes, or the more I seem to be repeating cycles, the more this idea of initiation gets more and more prominent. And I had a time where I was really into like sacred geometry, and at the same time I was also into like automatic writing. So I felt like I was receiving sacred geometry that was explaining the nature of this evolution that was beginning to take place, this flower that was beginning to blossom. And I had a notebook where I would write these down, and then it felt like I would get some sort of inspiration as to what these symbols meant, so I would write them, and then I called the writing of the interpretation of these symbols automatic writing. But there seemed to be several, I guess you could say, similarities between all of the symbols. There seemed to be this idea of three. I ended up interpreting that in many different ways. One of them being third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension. And I guess there's like actual quantum physicists that would like give you an actual explanation as to what all of those mean, but I was coming at it from a somewhat different approach. I wasn't necessarily trying to be scientific or spiritual. It felt like there was something almost like in the middle of it, you know? And that's what I was most interested in. And what I felt like was that the third dimension is, let's say, the physical reality. So everything that you can see, anything physical would be the third dimension. The fourth dimension would be a sort of turning in of your awareness as to questioning your beliefs about the physical reality, and even going so far as to question, is there really a physical reality? And that could be a bit of a rabbit hole, so let's not get too caught up there. And then the last one, the fifth dimension, meaning unity consciousness, that realizing that my beliefs actually dictate my physical reality, and that there is a different option than the normal mode of consciousness I habitually find myself in, almost robotic. Like, I'm so sure that this is how life is, and this is just how I act, and this is just how the way that things are. To realizing that no, actually all of those assumptions are beliefs, and beliefs are a lot deeper than just a mere like, this is what I think, right? Because based on how you believe, it's how you interact with your physical environment. And you can prove this with something called exposure therapy, for example. So let's say you have a fear of cats, and you have quite literally a coding in your brain that signals to the nervous system to fire and act in ways according to this coding that you have. And then you can introduce exposure therapy, where you take incremental processes to overcoming this irrational fear of cats, because cats are so fucking cute. So you start off with, like, I don't know, you're looking at a picture of a cat and you're like, I can't look at that fucking picture for more than 2 seconds. Okay, good. That's all you need to do, 2 seconds. The next time you do it for 10 seconds. And you do it for a minute. And then we're gonna watch a video of a cat. Whoa. It's like moving now, and it's like meowing and shit, and it's like fucking freaky, but you keep doing it, and you can watch a whole video of cats and you're not scared. You actually think it's funny, because cats are fucking hilarious. Eventually to the point where you can actually bring a cat into the same room as you and you can pet the cat and not be scared of it. Right? So your whole orientation towards something that was so scary to you is now completely different. You've got someone walking by with one of the loudest things on planet Earth. Like, I swear to God, I've heard very few things louder than that. And I can't even, like, describe to you what it is. You wouldn't believe me. So, now you have a totally different orientation towards cats, and they can take scans of your brain, EEG, something like that, and see that this wiring, this activity is actually different. It's organized and distributed much differently. And you could call it better because it's causing you less negative symptoms and more positive symptoms. So, coming back to this idea of initiation, let's say you are like me and you grew up your whole life thinking something very specific about life. And if you are anything like me, it's probably pretty negative. A lot of heartbreak, a lot of loss, a lot of just managing and surviving. And then something happens where actually that's not the case. There is something that is going through that, but that's not who I am. And the more I fall back on who I am, the more I question these beliefs that I have, and the more a shift can occur that's not simply psychological, it's physiological. A changing in the structure of the brain and of the nervous system. And now so much of that energy that was getting trapped in the beating of the heart and the rushing of the blood. For example, I don't know, like, I'm just illustrating a point. When that can calm down, that can balance out, now there's this excess. And what happens to that excess? It's now being distributed out into your environment. And you start to get these reflections of my letting go and my forgiving provided this increase of energy that's being pushed out into my environment. And when I'm finished with these cycles, Some of them are one day, some of them are a week, some of them are months, some of them are years. Who knows? There's a bunch of different ones that we're on our little soul journey. And then you get a reflection back to you from your environment of your work. And now we've got something that's like a whole new addiction, but a very good one. And the world's loudest object is making a fucking return. I swear to God, if I told you what it was, you wouldn't fucking believe me. Story of my life. Oh man, I told myself I want to shoot for about a 22 to 25 minute video. And I'm at 11 minutes. So the last half of this video is going to be more of a just kind of hanging out. If you stayed with me up to this point, man, you're a real one. Especially if you like catch this early on, you know? You're one of the first ones. Then know that this is a reflection back to you of your inner work. I recognize the Christ in you, and you recognize the Christ in me. Namaste. I'm here at the library. When this is done, I'm gonna go in and make a fucking banger, bro. I'm on a fucking hot streak with my music. I go by Braum. B-R-A-U-M. Braum. And last night I made a techno song that just went so fucking hard, dude. Just holy shit. The fuck is going on? I'm at a point, I'm like struggling because I'm like, this sounds like I'm being arrogant, but at the same time, bro, if I'm not like all the fucking way in on my music, who else is gonna be? If it ain't me, then who, right? But when I make music, I turn, here's a pro tip for the producers. Find some good headphones. And when you're making your music, turn it all the way down. Just barely enough noise to even hear what you're working with. This is going to allow you to build your sound. For example, I like to use Vital. Serum is like the equivalent of it, and I've tried Serum and it's very fucking powerful, but it is slightly different than Vital. Both are bass synthesizers, but Serum is more like, I don't know really how to describe it. I think Serum actually might have more capacity on it, but I like the sound more in Vital. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And so in Vital, in my headphones, that volume is all the way down, dude. And I use FL Studio, so I'll go up into like the piano roll, right? And it has like this really fucking cool automated automated feature called Riff Machine. So you can just like click on that and kind of just get your basic layout in Vital and just let it like play the different riffs that it comes up with. And if you don't like it, click one button, it totally fucking changes it. So you can like sit there and just in like 10 minutes you can just like hear so many different variations, and then from there it's like you got the idea. So I already have my idea for my next song, and it's a really interesting one, man. Really interesting. You know, this is like, now I'm in a smaller, different audience, but maybe it's the same fucking audience, and like the universe is just fucking mysterious as shit. But yeah, this feels like a totally different topic, but I am going to put my BPM at 233 beats per minute, which is like fucking fast, right? Really fucking fast. But I'm going to use drums off of Splice, you know, tune it up a little bit once it gets in. If I put something in from Splice, sometimes it just sounds like fucking perfect and I don't even touch it. But most of the time I'll throw on like a EQ. I use Fruity Parametric EQ too. And man, I'll even throw that bitch on twice. And just like really take out any of the like extra shit. Sometimes I feel like it might not transfer over, you know, you got to think about it. It's coming off of somebody's original computer onto a file which Splice uses, and then you take Splice's file and then put it onto yours. Sometimes it's not going to be the cleanest transfer, so yeah, I'll put that on. And then just some of my favorite just easy plugins, obviously delay. I use Fruity Delay Bank for that. Like, so sick. Their reverb, I don't know, never gotten too much into it. If I do, I'll use Fruity Convolver. Sometimes that can be interesting, but I already have a delay and I don't really see the point in using Fruity Convolver if I have a delay already. Maybe I'll still try it out. Might have an interesting effect. So I'll throw on that. If I was doing drums, like I said I was going to do drums, I would probably maybe put on a delay. Maybe reverb, and then, man, like so many people are trying to call me right now, what the hell? Two other good plugins are some sort of phaser. I use Fruity Phaser and Fruity Flanger. The combination of those two can be like really crazy as shit. Phaser and Flanger have like this real effect of just like stretching your fucking music out, and they make like these gushes, like, which I love, dude. I love that so much. I keep getting texts, like I never get texts, bro. I like used to go literally weeks without getting really any texts. Oh man, if you can relate, you can relate, man. Sometimes you gotta go hermit mode. If you go hermit mode, like always remember like total self-love, total self-compassion, because there's this huge like pull from society that if you go hermit mode and like you're not being very productive in society standards, that they'll like try to make you feel shameful or guilty about that. But fuck that, bro. You gotta go in on you and like buy fucking all the way in on yourself. And you're never gonna do that unless you fully love and fully accept yourself, you know? So stay strong. Like, manifestations take like several pieces of like the chessboard to move before they're finally put into place. You just gotta trust your angels have your motherfucking back, bro. They're like working, testing out all these different probabilities and like inspiring people. And the more that you do you, the more people are going to be attracted to you. You will not fucking believe the amount of attraction you'll have. Like, you won't believe it. You will really be stepping into your power and realizing it doesn't fucking matter about the outside, man. Like, I am so turned up and so turned on and tuned in right now. I can handle fucking anything. I can do anything I want. Anything. If I can do anything, really, seriously, then you can have a moment with God and ask God. Use it in your highest purpose. And then that is a very auspicious moment to be in, brothers and sisters. We are right around 22 minutes. And so in honor of our last moments together, let me just say simply, sweetheart, I've genuinely enjoyed your company with me. And I wish you a wonderful, jolly, trolley day.